I came to a point in my life when I had lost the will to fight. Why? Felt as though God was no longer listening to my prayers. Don't know if anybody else has ever been there, even willing to admit it. But as my granddaddy once told me, baby, if you have not yet been there, then you just keep on living. My prayer, my son has a chronic illness, and I knew that it would take a miracle to heal him. Now, for years, I would fight through the tears and the fears. I would pray, and the doubt would just somehow go away. But today, something was different. I couldn't shake this feeling. Now, at this point, I don't know what was or what wasn't. But this one thing I knew to be absolutely true is that my faith was in trouble. Maybe it needed to undergo reconstruction. Now, around this time, my husband could tell that I was feeling a little bit down, so he took me to the internet to listen to this inspiring speech that he had found. Now, in this speech, this man was saying something about picking yourself back up once you've fallen down or something like that. I don't know. His words really didn't resonate. I guess it's hard to get inspired when you have an under construction sign stepped across your face. I was in crisis, and I knew it. Wasn't sure if I'd make it through this. You know, experts say that when facing a crisis, we display one or two emotions. Those emotions are fight or flight. That is to stand your ground or simply turn and run away. I chose flight. I told you, I had lost my will to fight. Now, this particular day, I was at work and I just got in my car and I drove home. I walked in the door to a ringing telephone. I didn't even bother to check the call ID because today I didn't want anybody bothering me. I bypassed the kitchen because tonight Mama wasn't gonna cook. Peeked in the downstairs bathroom that needed to be cleaned and didn't give it a second look. I looked at my dog that needed to be walked. I walked right past the loud TV that needed to be turned off. That was my TV turned to BET that my children had left on playing all those secular songs. And all I could hear was Waka Flocka Flame and Gucci Mane ringing through my ear. And I'm a Christian, but I was about ready to cuss because I had had enough. So I simply ignored it all, because right there, waiting to take me to my bedroom were my steps at the end of the hall. So I took a step and I began my journey up. But now all I could hear ringing through my ears were the words, "So fight I not." Now y'all, I'm wondering why the words of Paul are going through my head when all I wanted to do was take flight to my bed. So fight I not, as one that beateth the air. But I bring this body under subjection by any means necessary, lest when I have preached to others, I myself become not a castaway. Or in other words, when it all hits the fan, are you able to stand, or are you one that takes flight? True story. I dropped down to my knees and then proceed to rip the carpet right up off the steps. I'm in disbelief. Am I going crazy? Because anybody with good sense knows that carpet is held to the steps with nails, glue, and staples. But it was too late. By now the dog was barking and the dust was flying, and before I knew it, I had pulled the carpet up off all 15 steps. Now I'm standing up at the top of the steps looking down at the task of reconstruction that is before me. In some kind of way, whatever it was I had just done, it somehow liberated me. It set me free. You know, it was a wise philosopher that once said, it's only when we let go of what we are that we become who we might be. So I hung an under construction sign on the steps and I went to work cleaning up my mess. And I scraped up glue and I plucked out nails and I sanded the wood down until I got to its original core. And this went on for weeks. And as I tended to those steps, God himself came by to see about me. He said, like Paul, he wanted me to fight. Said he had divine purpose for my life. Then he reminded me of another mom that the devil tried to break. Because her son was facing insurmountable odds, he tried to destroy her faith. It was Mary, the mother of Christ. They took her child's very life. They did it right in front of his mom. She cried as she watched him putting nails in her son's palms. So then God said that if after all that she could get up and continue the fight, then he expects no less from me. He said, like those steps, I was a work in progress, and it does not yet appear what me or my child shall be. I'm glad to say that after much heartache and pain, my steps Now have a smooth wood grain, painted with a beautiful cherry wood stain and a high gloss shine of polyurethane. And as a finishing touch, you remember that speech that my husband had me to listen to, the one that didn't resonate much? Or so I thought. Well, the Bible declares to write the vision, and when you write it, make it plain. Turns out that man's speech was not in vain, because as you proceed up my steps, those words are written on them for you to read, and they are: fight till you can't fight no more. Lie down, bleed a while, but get back up and fight some more. Y'all ain't hear me though. I said fight till you can't fight no more. Lie down, bleed a while, but get back up and fight some more. Now with no carpet on my steps, the devil in hell can hear me coming. And when I start down those steps in the morning, I want the devil to cringe and say, oh God, why you wake her up again? And I tell him he woke me up because I'm coming to get my stuff. Everything, all of my dreams. And when I start down those steps in the morning, Jack, I'm coming to get my baby's health back. Because see, now I speak to my mountains because I'm a mountain mover. Y'all ain't hear me again. I said mountain moving. Your faith can be made indestructible, but you must first be willing to be destroyed. And when faced with the decision of whether or not to fight, we as a people, we don't have a choice. We fight till we can't fight no more. Lie down, bleed a while, get back up, and fight some more. I said, fight till you can't fight no more. Lie down, bleed a while, so get back up.